Hello, thank you for joining our Tech Talks. Today's security edition is focused on what's new in Splunk Enterprise Security 6.6. But before we begin, please note that Splunk is a publicly traded company and you should make your purchasing decisions based on the products and services that are currently available. My name is Patrice Regalado. I'm a product marketing director for Splunk Security Solutions. I've been a Splunker for about 3 years and in cybersecurity for over 12 years in various product marketing and product management roles. Also joining me today is my partner in crime, Marquise Montgomery.
Hi,
Marquise, why
everybody.
don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah, thanks, Patrice. My name is Marquise Montgomery, Principal Product Manager for Splunk Enterprise Security. Been at Splunk for about 7, 8 years, and been in cybersecurity for over 12 years.
Awesome. Thank you, Marquise. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. All right, so in the next half hour, we're going to talk about some of the challenges of dealing with alert fatigue and cloud visibility. Then we'll dive into the new capabilities that are available in the ES 6.6 release, and as well as a demo that you can see all these great features in action. We'll also cover additional resources that are available for you to check out after this talk. Lastly, I do want to remind you that our team is available to answer any questions during this talk, so just go ahead and use the Q&A widget in your screen. Also, if you're watching this on a recorded version, please feel free to join the conversation through the Tech Talk discussions that are available in the Splunk community, and that's splunk.com/Tech Talk. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I know many of you are suffering from alert fatigue. I know most of you have experienced just the concrete, lot of negative effects that it's had on your security operations. And out of hundreds of alerts that are coming at you, only a fraction of those actually warrant further investigation. And often many of those alerts do go uninvestigated because there's just simply not enough hours in the day for security analysts to review all of them. But this leaves the possibility that one of those abandoned alerts is actually a real compromise in your environment that's going to be overlooked. And so in a modern day SOC, dealing with alert fatigue is very much a real problem. So what you need are the tools that can act as force multipliers so you're not wasting your time on potential false positives. So while alert fatigue is one problem, another big challenge, and in fact, a major complaint for the SOC is also the lack of cloud visibility. And what I mean by this is that as your business partners move to cloud technologies, the complexity of defense just continues to increase for a SOC, while simultaneously losing visibility from your traditional data sources. Also, migrating to the cloud doesn't really mean that organizations are avoiding compliance issues. For many companies, their compliance requirements actually increase. So these transformative cloud environments introduce a lot more new risks and new vital workloads that have to be defended. And that's why we're really excited to bring you the latest release of Splunk Enterprise Security 6.6 that's now available for both Splunk Cloud and on-premises customers. This release is jam-packed with new capabilities and enhancements that make your job a lot easier. Some of these are the new and improved incident review dashboard, a lot of risk-based alerting enhancements, and also cloud security monitoring enhancements. And Marquise is going to go through all of those features in more detail in the next few slides, as well as give you a really cool demo. So hopefully many of you are already familiar with risk-based alerting that we released in ES 6.4 last year. But we have made so many improvements since then, and we're really excited to showcase them. But for those of you who are still a little bit unfamiliar with RBA, RBA essentially provides a new way to detect and respond to advanced threats that greatly reduces your alert fatigue. And really, I can't overemphasize how many of our customers have told us that RBA has literally changed their lives and let them find things that they would have missed. It's really the most innovative way of finding low volume, high fidelity threats that normally get lost in the noise of data. Also, as I mentioned, we've made so many improvements in RBA in the last year, and Marquise is going to show you how far this has come. And as I talked about how RBA has transformed customers' lives, we've seen so many customers' environments where RBA has reduced alerts by nearly 80%, but has raised their true positives by 40%. Risk-based alerting really enables huge steps forward to optimize your SOC. So now I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Marquise to show you what's new in ES 6.6.
Yeah, thank you so much, Patrice. And I can't wait to really share with you all the great work that has gone into our new release of Splunk Enterprise Security. Up front, we're going to talk about incident review. So the incident review dashboard has had a tremendous amount of updates around visualizations and performance enhancements. I just want to give you a quick overview of those, and then we'll dig a little bit deeper in a demo in a few minutes. But up front, you'll notice that there are new visualizations to give you upfront situational awareness of your notable events. So you'll be able to see at a glance urgency, count by status, your owners, and security domains for your notable events. You'll also notice that the filtering for the incident review dashboard is completely different now. It's very modern and streamlined so that you can get into that filter experience and go for the most relevant notable events that you might be looking for. Additionally, on the incident review filters, we have a new save filters functionality that allows you to basically save your favorite combinations of filters and then set one as your personal default. So you can imagine if you're a threat intel analyst, you might filter for only threat notables that are owned by you or higher critical. You can save that filter as a combination and then have that automatically load for you when you join the incident review dashboard. Also, you'll notice that risk-based alerting is front and center in incident review now. There are new columns in incident review for risk details like the risk score or the risk object name or the risk number of risk events. So RBA is front and center, and we're making it even easier to take advantage of in this release of Enterprise Security. Finally, we have a new feature called disposition, which allows you to classify the disposition of a notable event. And this is a little bit different from the status, like new or in progress or resolved. This allows you to specify if a notable event is a true positive or benign positive or something else. And you can configure these options as well. And in later releases, we're planning on adding the ability to report on those. So you can report on status, and you can also report on disposition. We think that this is going to give the SOC a lot more visibility than they may have had in the past on exactly how the SOC is operating and how to further optimize your monitoring strategy. Next, I want to talk about risk-based alerting event timeline. And this is a new visualization we're super excited about that really digs in on our risk-based alerting methodology. So how this works is you might have noticed on the incident review screen, there is a new column for risk events. And if you click the number there for a risk notable, you get this window that pops up that shows you a very nice visualization of the distribution of your risk events. So for risk notable that fires, you can drill in to see what those contributing risk events were, what the timelines were. And for each risk event, you can even see what the risk score was associated with that risk event was. So the things that are higher on the timeline are higher risk, and the things a little bit lower are lower risk. And then you can get a bird's eye view of all of those contributing risk events to see if their threat objects change or if you've got different timelines in terms of when those risk events were contributing in. So in one click, you have the ability to see what caused a risk notable to fire, and you do that right from the top line of incident review. For those customers taking advantage of risk-based alerting, we think this is going to dramatically reduce your mean time to detect and shorten your MTTR SOC metrics as well. And next, we want to talk about cloud security monitoring. So it wouldn't be a Splunk release if we weren't talking about the cloud. And we're still driving forward on a multi-release initiative to enhance and improve on multi-cloud support for all your data. That way you can run the SOC and you can do your security monitoring via all your information, whether it's on-prem or in the cloud or in a hybrid environment. So in this release, we've added support for data model. Actually, it's a brand new data model that will have support for shared cloud storage services like Box, Google Drive, SharePoint, and OneDrive. And this is going to allow you to operationalize that information and add it to your security monitoring posture and correlate and normalize that information against all your other data in enterprise security. This is going to allow you to build and strengthen your unified cloud security posture and be able to take advantage of risk-based learning, the enterprise security threat intel framework, and all the other frameworks inside of the product to streamline your security operations. We expect to see additional Splunk supported add-ons take advantage of this new data access data model. And we expect to see updates from our Splunk security research team writing detections against these shared storage cloud services as well in the coming weeks and months. So you'll see additional Splunk supported content taking advantage of this new data access data model that's available in Splunk Enterprise Security 6.6 and later. Now, I'm a huge fan of seeing and is believing and doing. And we always like to get our hands dirty here at Splunk. So I'm going to dig into a hands-on demo to show you some of the features we just talked about in Splunk Enterprise Security 6.6. Okay, let's dive right on into Splunk Enterprise Security 6.6 and talk about some of our new capabilities in the product. First, you'll notice if you're a longtime user of enterprise security that the incident review dashboard has been completely overhauled, and there are several new capabilities that are added to the dashboard, so I'll run right through them for you. Up top, we see the new visualizations that give you an idea of what the notable events in your event look like, broken down by urgency, status, owner, and domain. And you can hover over these to get a count of exactly which of those statuses or urgencies you have visible in your result set. And this does change with whatever your filters happen to be set to. Your filters have also been completely overhauled. We've got a much more modern way of doing filters. So you can go ahead and do your drop-down selects for things like urgency or owner or your security domain, etc. So if you're interested in just threat notable events and you're just interested in critical and high, you can do those filters right from within the setup here, and you'll notice that running those filters has also been improved from a performance perspective. Now, one of the really cool features that's also added to incident review is our save filters. So if this is a filter that you are most interested in, you're a threat intel analyst, and these are the types of notable events that you care about, you can actually save filters now. So there's an option here for saving filters, and you can give your filter collection a name. I'll just call this threat notables, and I'll save it. And I'll also call out this little checkbox here to set it as default. What that does for you is anytime you personally return to this incident review dashboard, your default filter will load for you. So you won't have to go through and set these filters up again. It'll be preloaded for you, and you'll just be able to get right to work with the notable events you care about. Now, that being said, you can have multiple save filters. So let's say maybe you want to look at the non-critical threat notable events. We'll see if we have any of those there. There we go. And then I can save that as a filter as well. So I'll call this non-critical threat notables. And I'll save that. And you can switch between your save filters over here. So I've got my default threat notables, and I can run that search. Or I can go back and bring my non-critical threat notables and run that. And those filters are saved right in there for me, so I don't have to waste any time getting to write what I care about. Also, once you've got that set, you maybe don't care about the filters anymore because you're getting right to the notable events you care about. So we've got ways for you to save real estate built into the dashboard as well. So you can hide those charts, hide those filters, and get right into the notable events that you care about and right to work, so that we're minimizing the time that you spend with the interface. You just get right to the data you care about. One of the other things you'll note in this new version of Enterprise Security is risk-based alerting fields are front and center in incident review. So you see new columns for risk object, the aggregated risk score, and the number of risk events. So that's all right there at the top level of the notable event, so you can see exactly what you're working with. And in the case of risk notables, we have risk events. So risk notables are aggregations of risk events that happen over time, and then when the risk threshold is exceeded, then you get a notable event. The very first question you'll ask yourself is, what caused the risk threshold to be exceeded? What risk events are we working with? How many were there, and what were they? And our new risk event timeline visualization is our way of showing you that information. So I'll just pick this system here, Titan. It's got 41 risk events, and if we click that link there, we get our new risk event timeline visualization loading up, which shows me those risk event that contributed to that threshold being exceeded and a notable event being generated. So I can see here over time exactly what activities were occurring on that machine. We've got a very nice visualization here that I can zoom in and zoom out on, and this one in particular has a lot of risk events, so there's all kinds of things going on here, but we can zoom back out and see those. And in this case, there were a bunch of low risk score events, but if we had risk events that had a risk score of say 50 or 60 or 80, they're color coded. So yellow is lower, orange is a little bit higher risk score, and red would be the highest risk score event, so you can see those. And I just want to call out that the context of each risk event is available here for you as well. So you get the time that the risk event occurred, the MITRE annotations or other annotations from other frameworks, and then threat objects. So you can see exactly in this case what commands were being run, and all the different keys that are associated with those risk events, and all the different changes in the form of threat objects. All of that information is surfaced to you right at the top level of the risk notable. So you can spend a little bit of time investigating this, and then once you've got enough information, you can make a decision on whether or not you want to start an investigation or go ahead and close out this notable event. The next thing I want to talk about is disposition, which is a new column right here in incident review. And this is a new status column, but it's a little bit different from status that you may be familiar with. So I'm going to just go ahead and bring this up. So you're able to, on a notable event, set notables as in progress or maybe resolved. We've added a new column here for disposition, which is basically a way for you to specify if it's a true positive or a benign positive, or if a false positive, and you like to have the security architect team go back and take a look at this detection, or maybe your threat intel team take a look at this detection, or maybe some other reason, other or undetermined. And this is also user configurable in the incident review settings. So if you have another setting that you'd like to use for disposition, you can add those and make them available. And as I mentioned earlier, these will be reportable in later versions of ES. So that's it for the incident review dashboard enhancements. Let's send it back over to Patrice to take us home.
That's so cool. Thank you so much for that awesome demo, Marquise. So much goodness in this release, guys. Thank you so much. So we're about ready to wrap up this tech talk, but before we do, I wanted to share some additional resources that are available to you. There are a number of RBA-related .com sessions that you can check out online. These are highly rated sessions that were delivered by our Splunk SMEs and customers who have implemented RBA. So I highly recommend you guys checking that out. Also, .com 21 is right around the corner, and we have so many more goodness out of .com 21 that we're going to be ready to present to you. Lots of customer stories around RBA and how they've implemented RBA in their environment. So definitely look out for .com 21. We also have previous tech talks that you can check out to learn more about RBA. I've listed those here. And lastly, our success advisors are here to partner with you on your journey to RBA. We do have some folks who can help you out on that. You'll receive all of these assets in a follow-up email as well as the recording. So definitely check out these resources. Also, don't forget that we have an incredible community of security practitioners in our Splunk global online user community. You can search the answers section on enterprise security and RBA and continue your conversation for this tech talk in our community site. Also, if you'd like to submit new product enhancements for enterprise security or vote for ideas from other ES customers, go ahead and visit Splunk Ideas on our community site. That's a really great way to get any cool new features that you guys are looking forward to for ES. And with that, on behalf of Marquise and myself, thank you so much for taking the time to join our Tech Talk today. Take care and be well.